Good evening, everyone. I am Dr. Valerie, and you are with us and Brown Sugar Confessions that you can only get Wednesday nights at 11 o'clock on Power 1017. We are so excited that you're joining us tonight. We're going to hop right on. We're going to bring up our co-host. Miss T, come on up.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back. This is Miss T in Atlanta, Georgia. And please don't forget to follow us on all our social media handles, Brown Sugar Confessions, and our Patreon page. We finally got some content up on Patreon. You guys are going to be so excited.
Excellent. And Tracy, come on up. What you been up to?
Hey y'all, I'm just getting home from BlurredCon, relaxing, healing pulled muscles and rehydrating. It was really, really beautiful. I got to see a blurred engagement. I got to see a blurred wedding. I got to see, so the officiator at the wedding, one of the women in the audience, that was her father, and she hadn't seen her father since COVID had started and everybody was in lockdown. So that was the first time she got to see her father, was officiating a wedding at BlurredCon. Look, I had too much fun. I cried a lot of tears. I got to see some of our friends out in the real world. Like I was asked, can I hug you? Can I hug you? Can I hug you? And I had the best time. And now I'm just healing up, recovering, and washing makeup brushes.
There you go. I have a question. What is BlurredCon? I don't even know. I can't.
Okay, so BlurredCon is blurred. BL is for black, and they just topped off the N and put nerd together. So it's blurred. It's supposed to be a black-centered con, which if you go to a lot of cons, like I go to a lot of cons, sometimes you forget that there are so many blurs out there. And this one is specifically, it's geared toward us. Now, all races do go. I saw lots of Asian people. I saw some white people. Miss T, help me out. You know the word that I'm looking for.
Latinx.
Yes, that's it.
And we found out that was wrong.
Yes, and we found out that was wrong. So there was a lot of people there, but more importantly, what I love seeing is so many Black women and so many Black young girls just out there living their best cosplay life. I met so many new friends, got to introduce them to Brown Sugar Confessions, and they love the show. They really did love the show. And
awesome.
I'm ready to get into it with you guys today.
Oh, we're ready. It's going to be a hot show. Let me see what you got going on.
Hey, I'm back from Hollywood, Burbank area, and I got to do my very first online comedy stand-up debut, 5 whole minutes of it. It was so much fun. I'm going to be posting an unlisted YouTube link in our Patreon account just for you guys. Everyone else, you're going to have to pay to see me in future. So we're going to pay money. It's going to pay, the tickets are going to rise, just so you know. And I also got to finally meet in person Galen Hooks. She's a famous Blasian dancer, choreographer, music producer, now located all over the world. And I got to meet her in person and get my butt kicked by her for 2 whole days. So much fun. And now I'm officially 53, y'all. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Woohoo. All right. Oh, that is awesome. I'm so excited for your comedy career. You are funny and I'm all about it. I'm so excited for you, girl. I'm so proud of you. Way to knock it out, Jenny C. In Hollywood. Can I get your autograph now before you get rich and famous? Yes. And then you want to charge me. KD, what's up, girl?
Hey guys. So I just came back from a trip around the New England area. So I've visited every single state in New England, me and the husband. That's how we decided to spend our vacation. And we had a wonderful time. We stayed at a hotel that was a rock hotel that had record players.
Oh, wow.
Ooh.
Every room. Do you guys know my husband never used a record player before? He had no idea
really
to work it. That's what happens when you date younger men.
Girl.
It was fun. We had a wonderful time.
That is so awesome. I'm so glad you guys are co-hosting Brown Sugar Confessions with me. That you can get only on Power 1017. And I am not in France yet. I've had a little detour. I'm in Germany, and we are in a beautiful little village, and I am shopping a lot. My husband has not been with me for 2 days. He is not happy with me, but that's another story. We'll talk about that later. But when I tell you, like, they have like Gucci outlet, the Gucci outlet, that's all I gotta say. The Versace outlet. Oh, my credit card. Anyway, so he's back home now. Well, he's back in the hotel. And so I have a question for you guys. So when you're in a hotel and you have your neighbor next to you and they're getting it on, do you start also getting it on and trying to be louder than them? Like it's a competition?
No.
What?
I mean, maybe for fun.
What?
Yeah.
But not real sex. Mostly just me jumping on the bed by myself going, that's it.
I do it for real. I'm like, honey, listen. Oh, we can be louder than them. Let's go.
Oh, you mean actually be having sex? I'd be like Tracy. I'd be like, boom, boom, ooh.
No, actually, because hotels get me in the mood and we travel a lot. And then I hear somebody and I'm like, oh, we can be louder and longer. Let's go. Let's go.
Wow. I don't think I've ever had the blessing or the curse to be with someone who was a competition sex person.
Competitive spirit in me. What can I say? And listen, you guys, I'm so excited for tonight. We're going to hop right in this show. Make sure before we get started that you get your pen and paper, write down the email if you haven't done so already. It's brownsugarconfessions@gmail.com. Send us your emails right now. We're going to start reading them on the air. We have a couple of really hot subjects I'd like to talk about. And if you're having any kind of sexual and or relationship problems that you might be experiencing, either together with your partner or individually, don't hesitate to reach out to me. You can reach me at Valerie@swancenter.com. I'm going to put the link in there for you as well. We can set up a complimentary appointment. We will talk for about 15 or 20 minutes, and we will see if we're a perfect fit together. And then we can work together on whatever your sexual concerns may be. So make sure you take advantage of that only because you're listening to us on Power 1017. Tonight, we are talking about low desire, sexless marriages, and something that I'm really excited about is sugar babies. Ooh. But before we get into all of that, did y'all see that picture going around on the internet with this Black man and this white lady dressed up as a slave and master?
Man, listen. I have feelings.
Okay, so I saw the picture because that was all that was on my Facebook feed. Everybody was posting about it. And originally when I saw it, I thought, is this a joke? Because sometimes you see something and you're just like, what is that? And you look at it and you read it, and this is their second set of proposal pictures for their wedding.
Their second set?
Second set. This is for their wedding. Mainly my question is where's your mother? Where's her mother? I have questions and I demand answers right now. Like, I want to know what's going on. I did understand, because a lot of people like Dr. Val were talking about this, that this is a kink, and people like this. But for me to see it, this is how I feel about this. My ancestors worked too damn hard for me to even pretend some stuff like that.
Yeah, that was really, really hard to see.
So is there any way someone could tell me exactly what happened? Because I haven't seen this photo. I think I might have seen it around the internet, but I'm not 100% sure which one you're talking about.
Man, let me tell you about this foolishness. So the picture, it's a set of pictures, and it's supposed to be, like Tracy said, for, I guess, this wedding that's supposed to happen. So in the pictures, you have this gentleman who is pretty much my skin tone, dark skinned man, pretty much looks like he is of African descent, and he is dressed up like a slave. And so now you have his, I guess, fiance, who is his, wife to be. In the picture, she looks like she is dressed up like she could be like the plantation owner's daughter, and she sees him and he's, looking like he's trying to pick some cotton, and now she's unlocking his chain so that he can be free, and they're all happy and everything. So it looks like it's literally the whole white savior complex. Like, you can tell she is his savior. She brought him out of this darkness that apparently is slavery, but the kicker is that it's pretty much her oppression that she's freeing him from, to be a part of the oppression. That's what it really looks like, because at the end of the very last picture in the series, it's him dressed up, and it looked like he's now a part of society, but it looks like he is now in plantation owner's clothing. So it when you look at it, it can be very triggering, because especially with here in America today and in other parts of the world, they don't really view us Black folk as people of society. We're just here to either procreate, consume, and just to make stuff. But we don't really, the way it's very complicated. I have a lot of complications with this set of pictures, and I know a lot of many other people did as well. So
What
you'll
on
understand.
earth? What on earth is someone thinking? Like, what make you say this sounds like a great idea for a proposal photo? Someone explain. Can someone tell me? I don't understand.
Dr. Val, this is all you.
I don't understand why they chose to make it their wedding pictures. That I will tell you from experience, there is something in the kink world called antebellum play. I am going to talk about that in our Patreon account, because that is a really heavy conversation. I'm not going to do it on the radio because I got to go into detail. But generally what it is, it's people that like to dress up in antebellum wear and have interracial relations in this antebellum wear. And I will tell you, it for me as a clinician, it's a hard no for me to work with a client that does that type of play. That picture really sparked so much intrigue on the internet, especially when it comes to interracial relationships. We're actually going to talk a little bit about that next week. And if you go into our Patreon, we're definitely going to go into that heavily next week and talk about antebellum play. You don't want to miss it. If you play in that scene, I want you in Patreon. If you want to know what that scene is, I want you in a Patreon, because we're going to go there. It's really quite interesting.
So with what we just talked about, is it okay if we just take one big collective sigh, everybody? Because that was some very heavy content that we're going to push over to Patreon so we can move forward. So everybody take a big deep inhale. Exhale through the mouth.
Oh.
All right.
Thank you.
You knew somebody was going to get weird with it.
All right, let's keep the party going.
I like my
All right.
microphone.
Let's keep this party going. Let's talk about sexless marriages and low desire.
Oh, something near and dear to my heart. Let's go.
Yeah. And there is a phenomenon that's going around, especially with COVID, that people are not engaging in sex when they're in relationships, and women don't have a desire to have sex. And so do men. This is not solely a woman's concern. This is also a male concern. And low desire is the #1 sex concern that women have. And it's normally, for me, when I talk to my clients, they don't have the energy to have sex because the kids been running around all day, they're exhausted. There's so much emotional energy being put out online right now with your Zoom meetings and with your Facebooking and Snapchatting and TikTok. That's me. Yeah, I said it. You don't even have the energy, to wind down when you're going to bed to want to have sex. And men have the same concern. They just don't desire it. So I wanted to ask you guys a question. have you guys experienced having low desire? Because here we are, women of all ages. We've got 30s up to early 60s. So for me, it's a concern as a woman that's approaching that age in the 60s. You know, it takes a lot to get my energy going again. And it's not also about age. And that's the point that I want to stress during this, that women of all ages can have this. So I want to know, have you guys ever, or do you experience it now, having low desire?
Yes.
Amen. Absolutely. I mean, I'm married over almost 30 years with my husband. What we've done is we changed the times. And if he tells me he needs to be intimate, we make an appointment so that I can reserve extra energy for him. Because usually I'm running all over the place. People who know me know that I'm usually triple booked in my schedule, color coordinated.
Yes, you are.
Yeah. Right? And you know, I'm running all around. But I know because I love my husband, and part of our communication in our relationship is that he needs that intimacy. And he understands, though, when I'm like, I can't this week. He's totally understanding. But then I will make the effort to make time for us to be intimate. But he's got to do it my way, because after cancer, chemo, menopause, to really work with me and meet me halfway, sometimes 3/4 of the way, to help me be able to be intimate.
Right. So Jenny, see, you said you're a breast cancer survivor, right?
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yay, yay.
Yes, it's 6.5 years now.
That is awesome. Yay, Jenny. And one of the things, we're all doing love signs for Jenny right now. We love her. And for all of our ladies and also men that also have had breast cancer, it's not just a ladies' concern as well. You know, sexual desire is something that gets impacted. And Jenny, it is when you were going through your breast cancer treatments and now that you're post, was your doctor talking to you about sex and how to engage and how to spark it up again since you've gone through all the process?
I'm laughing profusely with my ha-ha face right now. No. And I was an occupational therapist, BC, before children, you guys. So I know how important that is. That's one of your activities of daily living. It should be, right? And
right.
We addressed it as occupational therapists, but no, that was not addressed. However, my husband, who had testicular cancer 20-something years ago, when we were first married, they didn't address it then either. But they did tell us to make sure that he should go and store his little wigglies. Like we went to the
Wigglies.
I don't know if I'm allowed to use that word, but so we went to the Wigglies bank and had them flash frozen so that I could go through in vitro. And that's a whole other story. You have to tune into Patreon account so that you can get my next part 2 of my stand-up comedy to talk about the trip to the Wigglies Bank with my mother-in-law.
Oh my.
With your mother-in-law. Oh my God. I'm going to listen to that one. So if you're out there listening, send us an email. If you can relate to what Jenny C is mentioning, you know, breast cancer survivor, or any type of cancer that you've survived, and how or has it impacted your desire for sex? I know that I have an autoimmune disease, and my desire for intimacy, along with age, along with menopause, has greatly diminished. And I have to do all kinds of things to get myself in the mood. And one of those things that Jenny C just mentioned is I have to actually set a calendar and like, honey, it's time, because it is like, if you don't use it, you lose it, especially with menopause and you have vaginal atrophy, which is where the lining of the vaginal wall starts to get very thin and there's pain attached to that. So all of these things, like, we're having grown up conversations right now, and you can only get this on Power 1017, guys. So make sure that you guys are listening to this. And also, what's most important, if your doctor isn't talking to you about this, then bring it up to your doctor. Sexual health and sexual wellness is just as important as your mental and physical health. You have to all have all of those things combined to live your best life, not just your physical and your emotional health. So KD, what's going on with you down there? If you had any kinds of issues around, you're a young, beautiful woman down there with low desire.
Well, I actually have. Not right now, but I noticed that in my last relationship, I thought that I was going through a moment of non-sexualness. I thought that maybe I was suddenly becoming asexual, but
Mm.
what I've determined or believed to be the case is that I was in a very awful relationship. The person that I was with, I did not like. We did not have that kind of chemistry, and I lost interest due to the constraints of our relationship. When I met my husband, one of the things I noticed is all of a sudden these feelings started coming back. To make matters even worse, very recently, I have had a very high sex drive. I mean, really, really, really high, to the point where I'm like, ready to hump the wall sometimes. So, um, mine is actually, I think, a little higher than his at the moment, and that's one of those things that can be really frustrating, because as a woman, I'm so used to most of my sex life. If I was interested, usually the man was way more interested than I am, and sometimes he's looking at me like, come on, right now, like, really? And I'm like, yeah, like right now. And then 5 minutes later, and 10 minutes after that, and can we do it again a little bit more soon, maybe a couple hours. So it's interesting. I'm about to be 40 in a year, or less than a year now, and all of a sudden I've gotten this really increased need and desire.
You know what, KD, that's a really interesting topic that you just brought up. And I think that what we're going to do is actually have that as another one of our segments, not on this show, but in a future show, where we're going to talk about two things. First is having a partner that is not a good lover, because that's what I know can impact a woman's desire. You don't want to have sex because your partner's not good at it. And so you kind of fake it because you don't want to be bothered. That's a real conversation we're going to have. And then the second that I love that you brought up was, when you're hitting that 40s, perimenopause phase, and your hormones are kicking in, and now you just want to go at it. So those 2 points are really fascinating, and I want to bring that up on another one of our segments. So awesome.
So I always think that it was just me, because I'm always, most 90% of the time when people want to get intimate with me, I'm just like, I gotta do all this work. I gotta do something down there. I gotta put on some nice drawers for you. And honestly, when we started talking about a lot of these subjects, I was actually happy to hear that there are, once you get older, then your sex drive starts to pick up, because I really thought it's just me. Okay, maybe I'm not meant for sex. Like, maybe I'm just not meant for sex. Like, I'm not vibing with the person. They want to do it, and I'm just like, But maybe, like, I just have low desire. Maybe I just don't bond with that person the way they want me to. Like, I really think I might be what they call a demisexual. I don't know. Is there a test for this? Is
I'm
there?
sure
I
there
need to
is
know.
there's a test for everything. I'm sure it is. So what's a demisexual for those that don't know out there?
So apparently, if I'm understanding it correctly, a demisexual is someone who isn't really sexually aroused by their partner unless they have a very strong bond with them. So
Right.
I'm not, like, if I was considered a demisexual, I wouldn't be the person who would randomly just go out on one night stands. I don't know you. I don't even know if I like you. Why would I
Right.
drop my draws for you?
No dropping draws unless I like you.
Exactly. And you haven't even made yourself likable yet. Yeah, you might have a nice whatever you got going on, but outside of that, what are you?
So yeah, I've had low sex drive, especially I was married before, and about in the middle of my marriage, I experienced low sex drive. I realized that this person was not satisfying me at all, and I was going through the motions just to get it done. And then I was diagnosed with an autoimmune disease on top of a couple of other things. And the round of medication and chemo that they had me on, if you even came close to me and you were thinking of rubbing up on me, it was literally, I'm going to karate chop you in the face, get away from me. But now, since I've healed from all of that, I am now enjoying and thriving in my sex life now. and I'm just enjoying my 40-year-old life. But with that, we're going to go into our commercial break. So stay with us on Brown Sugar Confessions on Power 1017. In the next segment, we're going to talk about young people and their sex drive. We're also going to continue on sexless marriages, and we're going to talk about sugar babies. Come back to us, Brown Sugar Confessions.
Hey guys, welcome back to Brown Sugar Confessions. This is KD. Just wanted to remind everyone to join us at Patreon at Brown Sugar Confessions. Also, do not forget to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. And most importantly, if you have any questions about sex and relationships, send an email to Valerie, VALERIE at Swan Center. That's SWANN center.com. So we're going to go back to Jenny C. She has a few comments to make on this subject of sexless marriages.
As a mom of 2 college students, I want to make sure we include our younger folk listening in, whether you're cisgender, LGBTQ+, and identifying for yourself, make sure that it is okay that you have a low sex drive right now. My college students, they don't feel safe in these COVID times. And if you could speak on that, Dr. Val, because this is a great concern. We need to let them know that it's normal.
That's a really good point, Jenny C. And for all those that are listening that are in their 20s, understand that these times are unprecedented that we're living through. The amount of depression and loneliness that we've all experienced in COVID impacts our sex drive. And it is okay not to feel sexual right now. And understand there's nothing wrong. It is a sign of the times, no more, no less. But what I want you to do is recognize it and not let it to depress you. And understand that this too shall pass. And we're going to talk about some fun things and some things that, well, I think they're fun things that's going to help you kind of get back in the mood and pick up from that low desire. So the first thing is obvious, right? You got to go to your doctor to make sure nothing physically is wrong. That's first and foremost. Get all that blood work done, get everything checked out, whether if you've got headaches, if you've got stomach problems, if you're going through menopause, just do yourself a favor and just get all that physical stuff checked out. So if you're in your 40s, not only are we dealing with menopause, post and premenopause, it's already impacting our hormones. So it's very important that you go and get yourself checked out. It's extremely important. KD, girl, I see you got your hand up. What's going on down there?
Yes, so we have a email from a listener, and Sally from Lewis, she writes to us that she has not had any energy since COVID, and she's not been interested in sex with her partner. And due to that, she is really struggling with her relationship because there's no sex there and her partner wants it, but she does not. And she wants to know what she can do to kind of help fix this.
That is a really great question from Sally from Lewis. Thank you so much for that. And I believe that we need to look at not only the physical aspect of what's going on with the body and why you're not wanting to have sex, but also let's talk about some environmental things. And the first thing I'm going to talk about is lube. You know, if you are having sex and the sex is painful, that can prevent you from wanting to have sex. It can actually hamper and hinder you from wanting to have it, hence low desire. So first thing I want to talk to you about is lube. Use a really good lube if you don't have one. There are really great ones on the market. We're going to talk about those a little later on, but investing in a really good quality lube, and not coconut oil, by the way. Do not use coconut oil. Second thing I want to talk to you about is your partner, is he skilled? If he's not skilled, or they are not skilled, or she's not skilled, then education becomes paramount. So looking at videos together, looking at books together, exchanging ideas and having really open communication about fun things to do will help build that desire up. Take little special nights out with yourselves. Make an appointment to be intimate. Nobody says it has to be spontaneous. I don't know where we get that idea from. Especially with our lives today, things are not always spontaneous. So make a date with your partner and have some time set aside for that. Miss T, what do you think? You got some ideas for Sally?
You know me, I'm all about the whole, we got a bond. Like, let's do something together. Go take a walk in the park, read a book. I don't know, fix a car together, something that, you know, you can be like, okay, this is fun. And you kind of get into it from there and it goes all out. But definitely that and communication. Communication is very important. If you cannot communicate with your partner on anything, you're not going to want to be around them. So that's my 2 cents on that.
Exactly. What about you, Tracy? Got some suggestions for Sally and Lewis?
I do. So here's my suggestion. Just because I'm going to use this as an example, just because you've had sex with a lot of people doesn't mean that you're good at it. Communication, and everybody said it. Communication is key. Stop pretending. It is 2021. We are no longer doing fake ums and ahs for anyone. Be honest with yourself. And if you don't know what you want from your partner, it's time for you to spend some time with yourself and figure out what you want and what you like. That has been my lesson for me, because where we get all this, like you mentioned, where do we get all this? Let's be spontaneous. It's movies, it's TV. It's what you see. Like, he took me there, and then no, none of that. I have things to do. I have laundry. Who's doing my delicates? Who's doing my delicates? Oh, you? Okay, we'll get to it.
The delicates. You would trust somebody else with the delicate?
No, absolutely not. Only I'm a Virgo. Don't touch me. I'll trust you. But it's communication. That has been my biggest lesson in this. Getting divorced and being with somebody that was, I've been with all these people and they always. No, they didn't. That was a lie. That was a lie.
That was a lie.
That was a lie. I am an individual. You cannot lump me in with everyone else. I am the individual. You get to know me or you don't know me at all. That's the end of it.
Exactly. And on that note, we want you right now to send us an email at brownsugarconfessions@gmail.com and really share with us if you've experienced low desire, and also reach out and let us know if we can help you in some means. You can set up an appointment and we can help you work your way through it. Yes, Ms. T.
Can I jump in real quick? I just thought about something else. And this is a little bit internal because, you know, I'm the resident yogi in this group.
Yes.
Take some time for some meditation, drink some water, have a sit down, breathe.
Yeah. Breathe.
That's the big thing. Breathe. Sit and think with yourself. Why do I feel like I'm not bonding with this person? Because sometimes the answer, as they say, and it's metaphysical AF, but sometimes the answer is within you and you just don't want to confront it.
That part.
That part. Very true.
I personally found during these times, I have to fill my own cup, y'all. So that means a lot of baths, a lot of massages by professional massage therapists if I can afford it. Also by my husband without any intentions of having anything beyond just giving me a massage to calm me the boo down. Yes. And then I play. I do everything. I paint. I take quiet time. I'm reading. I'm dancing around like a fool naked after a shower to my favorite playlist, and that's the only thing that gets me into being able to engage with my husband. You know, and
that's
then
really powerful.
So just be aware make sure you're taking time for that.
Well, Sally, I will say what I have found to be really important is just to make sure that you take some time, hold hands, gaze into each other's eyes, and sometimes just re-engaging with that kind of intimacy will kind of get the juices flowing again. Kiss, You know, we forget about these little things sometimes, especially if you've been in a relationship for a long time. You get so busy just doing the same old mundane all the time. You forget to just take time and enjoy each other. And that can sometimes bring that back. But you know what else really helps me get just riled up?
What's that?
Giving me money.
Money.
Every time you $500.
Yes. Look, for real, my vibe too, always. Pay me. Pay me.
Pay
quick.
you?
Pay me. Look, the best gifts I have ever gotten were from some of my many boyfriends. Money.
Many. Do tell.
Money. I love it. I love when I wake up and they're like, oh, go get yourself some coffee. And then there's like a $500 thing in my PayPal. And I'm like, I'm gonna get the best coffee ever. Look, it's a whole thing. But going into money and paying and all that good stuff, for me, it's paid for me as a sugar baby. I'm not gonna lie about it.
A sugar baby.
Yes, a sugar
So
baby.
hold on.
Please
Tracy.
explain.
So explain. Yes, thank you, Miss T. You cannot just like throw out
Do
the word
tell.
sugar baby. I know we guys said we're going to talk about it, but you got to help us. What is a sugar baby?
Okay, so there are a lot of different terms, but what I like to use is for me as a sugar baby, I'm at a point in my life where I'm ready for somebody to invest in me and invest in the lifestyle that I want to live. And that requires a lady or a gentleman of a certain lifestyle to invest in me. And I've had sugar mamas, I've had sugar daddies all throughout my adult life. And
wait,
look,
stop. Wait,
I have questions.
hold on, back it up.
I have questions.
You had sugar mamas?
Yes. I've had more sugar mamas.
Is there a website for that?
Yes, actually there is.
Oh, I was just joking. What?
Oh, yeah. Look, come on close and let me tell you about it.
Oh, we want to know. Come close to the radio, y'all. She gonna whisper.
Put your ear to the speaker.
Come close to the radio.
I'm ready.
One of my favorite sites is seekingarrangements.com. One of my favorite
I've
sites.
heard of that.
And yeah, look, to get on there, you'll see a picture of my face, but I need to know that you're serious to even invest in me.
All of our faces just turned to the left. And she said, picture of my face.
Ear is close to my. Wait, I'm trying to listen through my microphone.
Oh wait, I'm on a headset. That's okay. You get it.
What I do is in my Seeking Arrangement site, I have a wish list of things that I like, and you can purchase it and send it to me. I have wish lists in a bunch of different stores, and you can click the link and I'll take you to my wish list. And you show me that you're serious and you're not wasting my time. And when you show me that you're serious, then we can talk, and we can talk about arrangements and how much my attention is worth, how much my time is worth, what you'll get out of me, what I'll get out of you. It's been, for me, as a Black woman, it has been very freeing to see people want to invest in me having the best life I can possibly have.
So I have a question for you.
Yes.
Is being a sugar baby the same thing as being a call girl?
No, because I will admit, when you're a call girl, occasionally, well, I don't know if all call girls have, intimate relationships with their partners, but I occasionally do not have. There are some of my sugar mamas and sugar daddies that I've never had relationships with outside of holding hands and hugging and kissing on the cheeks to say hello. Like, that's really it. I know a lot of people won't believe that, but I'm going to say, if you have a problem believing that, then you have a problem with people just being friends. Like, you may want to evaluate how you see adult relationships. Now, don't get me wrong. I've had some sugar mamas that were chef's kiss gorgeous, and you are right. We smashed all day. And I love
it. I loved it.
I loved it. I've had sugar daddies that I've had intimate relationships with, and I loved it. But here's the thing. I made the choice. It was never pressure. It's
Wow.
never pressured. And never, I mean, some expect that, and that's perfectly fine. You can expect what you want, but it's still my body, and I can still say no or yes to it. But I've had recently, I got from my sugar daddy, I got a Birkin bag. I got a couple of
I'm sorry. You just can't throw out what kind of bag?
a Birkin.
What does that even mean?
Oh, snap.
And it's
Means
red
Wait,
too.
so what's this website again? Mama needs a
Seeking
Birkin bag.
seeking
Let's go.
arrangements,
Wait.
seekingarrangements.com. And what I'm going to tell you is if you're looking to get on there and be taken seriously, I'm going to tell you to invest in good photos. Smile. None of this sour face, like I'm sexy, that kind of look face. No, smile. What's the sexiest thing on you? Your smile. And plus, you're showing them you have all your teeth.
Okay, I got a question. I got so many questions about the sugar baby. Okay, I'm old as crap. Am I too old to be
No.
somebody's sugar baby?
No.
I'm old.
No.
There's no
No.
age limit. 'Cause I want to see young girls like
No.
talking about they got their sugar babies.
And that's the thing. When I got into it, that's all I saw is these very young girls, young women in it, right? And I was like,
Yeah.
no, that's not for me. I'm telling you, these sugar mamas and sugar daddies, investors, as I like to call them, they appreciate your maturity because they know you're not going to come with the mess. They know that you're not going to be like, I'm going to blackmail you. No, they understand that with
I'm going to blackmail you.
look, it's dirty in these streets.
Yeah, man.
Dirty in these streets. People will contact you. They'll go through the motions. They'll secretly videotape you and then try to blackmail you for money. Yes, it is a thing.
Wow.
It is.
Oh,
it is a
wow.
thing. Yeah. So I've met a lot that some were just like, oh, I wish you were just a little bit younger. Some people have told me that. And I said, well, and I told them with my age comes maturity, and you can't beat that. And then they think about it, and then they come back to me.
Wow.
Because
That is
they understand
so
that with my maturity, I'm really looking for you to invest in my life. I'm really looking for you to, I've had my college paid for. I'm going to school right now, and that's completely paid for. My car is completely paid for. My children have college educations because people have invested in me. And I do this because one, I deserve it. Look at me. Cute.
Virgo
You is
perfection.
adorable. You are beautiful. There's no
Virgo
doubt.
perfection.
I mean,
But
if I was a
at
sugar mama, I would invest in you.
hey. But at the same time, a lot of people, they have this very negative look on what it is to be a sugar baby, and they're like, it really is like men in particular, but a lot of women, they see it and they're just like, they're not going to want you after a while. That's a lie. They'll want you. I know women that have mentored me, and they are up in their 70s and they are still sugar babies, and they are still getting it.
Wait, but so you have mentors?
Oh yes.
So hold on. Now I am not a sugar baby, obviously. I'm a little too old, I think, but maybe not. All right. I want to know something. Any other Miss T, Jenny C, Katie, have y'all ever been sugar babies before?
I wish somebody would invest in me, because I am trying to invest the most in myself so I can get better, and I need a little help. God dang it. Help a sister, help me to help you. But that was one of my main concerns, because I actually know of a person. I had a coworker who was a sugar baby, and you get like a lot of ashy individuals out here who are like, oh, well, they're gonna have to get up some sugar at some point. And that's one of the main concerns. I think that a lot of people are too scared to go into it, is because they think at any time, at the drop of a dime, your investor can be like, give up, drop them draws, and that's what they're supposed to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And you know what, this is the thing. If you're upfront with yourself, like, this is not what I'm willing to do. Some of my sugar daddies were UGLY, and I was nowhere near attracted to them at all. And they once they would ask, I'd be like, no, that's not on the table. And they'd be like, well, why not? I'm paying all this money. And I said, either you can get my time or you cannot. Move around.
Wow.
And look, be honest with yourself. If you're like with anything, right? You have to be upfront with your boundaries. Be upfront with your boundaries. And they will or won't respect them. At the end of the day, it is upon you to take the step that either you continue on or you say, you know what, you've asked me, I've left because they've asked me too many times. I'm like, you've asked me 10 times. And I said, no. I said, no, obviously you're not listening to me. So you are blocked and deleted from my phone and you can no longer contact me.
Daggone. That's crazy.
Wow.
Yeah.
Is there a school? I heard that there's a school also. Is that true?
There is a school, not to be confused with the wife school.
Oh, Lord.
Oh, no, don't confuse a wife and a sugar
We'll
baby.
talk about that another day. That's a whole
Well, you know what?
problem.
I think my husband would say, like, he's my sugar daddy.
Look, there are ways you can have a mentor that can help you through this. Like, learn how to mingle, learn how to hold your drinks, and learn how to dress, learn how to do your hair and makeup, and how to present yourself in your pictures in a way that makes you more appealing. Many times when I go on Seeking Arrangements and I go on and I see a lot of women do the sexy face scowl, and then they are taking these selfies. No. Babe, honey, sugar, baby, listen to me. If you want them to invest in you, invest in yourself. Get the full pictures where you're just like, you're lounging and you're pretty and all of these things. And they'll look at your picture and be like, I like that. I like that. She invested and I'm going to invest in her. The little things go a long way. You don't have to be dressed in Gucci and Chanel. You don't have to do that. I'm going to be completely honest with you. Some of my best outfits and my pictures that get loved and liked the most are stuff that are things that I've made or I bought off Pretty Little Things. And it's just cute sundresses and little sandals. And I'm like, cute.
Is that why I keep getting Facebook requests when I put a new profile where I'm just smiling and relaxed and all these people are requesting?
Your smile is inviting. If you go to any photographer, any professional photographer, and you go get your picture done, they're going to tell you to give me a couple where you're smiling, because your smile, it lights up your eyes, it lights up your face. Like, just, if you don't know what you're doing and you're really scared to jump in there, get yourself a mentor and pay for a mentor. If you go to a free place and they're like, I'll be your free sugar baby mentor, you're going to get
scammed.
Boo-boo. You're going to get
what?
Boo-boo.
Boo-boo. Oh, Lord.
You're going to get, Lord. You're not going to get people there. You're going to get the people who are going to be like, well, how about what will $150 get me? Like, ew, nothing.
Wow. So KD, have you been a sugar baby or thought about being somebody's sugar baby?
The closest I've ever been to a sugar baby was having an older boyfriend once. I know nothing about that lifestyle.
It's fascinating though, right?
It's very fascinating. I'll be honest, I've joined a sugar baby group once, and I kind of been in like the social media groups that talk about it. So I know people are doing it, and a lot of them have said that they don't do anything besides just give their time, have a good time, talk on the phone, listen. So I could kind of respect that. I wish I could. I'm always in a committed relationship, so I've never really had a lot of time to kind of be that free and try it out. So I think it's interesting.
Okay. All right. So if you're listening to us out there and you are a sugar baby, send us an email so we can read it. Also, make sure that you go into our Patreon account so that we can also have some discussions with sugar babies. And our sugar daddies or mamas, are they open that they are sugar babies and mamas? Or is that like a secret society to be a sugar patron? Is that like secretive? Because I see a lot of sugar babies talking, but I don't see them sugar mamas and daddies talking. Like asking for interviews. I just
do you want to know the truth? that
Please.
most sugar babies do not advertise who their sugar mama or daddy is, because they don't want other sugar babies infiltrating and coming in and trying to break up the relationship and taking them away from them. So you won't see a lot of them. Like there's one famous sugar baby that I love. Her name is Nina Peterson, and she does interviews a lot with her daddy. But you'll never see his face. You will hear his voice, but you will never see his face, because she doesn't want people to know who he is, so that they can come in and talk about her and make him feel any kind of way about her. It's that saying, like, you don't always show your man on Facebook or your woman on Facebook because you don't want other people in your business like that.
Right.
It's the same thing. It's the same thing.
That is fascinating. That is amazing. I don't know. This whole conversation around sugar babies is so fascinating. And obviously, and apparently from Tracy, who is or was a sugar baby, that is a sugar baby, you going to get paid for someone investing in you. And I like the word you keep using. You kept saying, and an investor. You know, I kind of took it to a whole nother level for me when you said, oh, he's an investor. Now, I know some big investors. I know some investors. So I'm like, I like that word. You know, it takes away this whole stigma of, like, you know, sugar baby, sugar daddy, prostitute, call girl, you know, pimp. It takes away all of that wording. But investor, it makes it sound like it is. I like that. I'm gonna tell my husband that he needs to be my investor. He needs to invest in some Louis Vuitton.
Well, you're in the right place to do it. So why not say, please come invest with me in this store?
Exactly, right? Exactly. Well, this conversation has been so much fun. This whole episode has really been around low desire and, of course, sugar babies. And we've had a bunch of fun just cutting up. You can only get this conversation on Power 1017. Make sure that you like and subscribe to us on our YouTube channel, and go to Patreon, where we're going to go off. We are off the cuff on Patreon. We are just doing it in there. So make sure you get your butts in there where you can get to engage with us live. Some of it's recorded, but you get us full and uncensored. And we will see you next week, next Wednesday at 11 o'clock p.m. on Power 1017. And we are Brown Sugar Confessions. And we thank you so much for tuning in this evening. Stay safe, play safe. Bye-bye, everybody.